arrest me. I don't want us to have it. I've told you where the vehicle is.
The truck was actually coming from Ring Road. It missed a step. So as it was trying to gather itself, it fell.
What we are witnessing these days, it is something we can no longer understand.
They should stop telling us and promising us all those promises are fake, giving us distance of promises are fake. We don't want it anymore.
I am Evelyn Izibili, and now the news in details. In a vibrant display of solidarity and advocacy, the Medical Health Workers Union of Nigeria, Edo State Council, said a critical workshop focusing on the dual challenges of breast cancer and among women, highlighting risk factors, preventive measures, and the importance of self-care. Beetv News Kate Owaridowo reports that the workshop
The workshop, organized by the Medical and Health Workers Union of Nigeria, Edo State Council, is to create awareness to educate women on the rising cases of breast cancer and depression in Edo State. The workshop drew a significant crowd of guests, government representatives, and health advocates. The event attracted the coordinator office of the First Lady of Edo State, Mrs. Desili Anani Okpebolo, who was represented, as well as Haja Mimuna Momodu, the Deputy State Woman Leader of APC, Comrade Bernard Joma Egwahide, Chairman Nigerian Labour Congress NSC Edo State, and Comrade Ogbeide Osaige, Chairman Medical and Health Workers Union of Nigeria Edo State Council, among others. Several of the guests delivered goodwill messages, including Comrade Ogbeide Osaige, who commended the union for prioritizing women's health and encouraging participants to take proactive steps in safeguarding their physical and mental well-being.
Breast cancer is undeniably on a daily basis. It's not because we don't care, but because we have this natural attitude to, concerning make I just want to go, office first, family first. We have succeeded in putting all these ones behind. Annual basis, we can be sharing our talk, can be sharing our ideas. We are not just only going to make it an annual event. We will even expand it beyond the cost of you coming to Benin City like this, tidy up what you are doing and go back. We might even turn it to a 2-day event where you will sit down, you will have a conference, you have lectures, you pass through processes.
Earlier, Mrs. Wonderful Efosa Ezra Oderinde, chairperson of the Nigerian Psychological Association Edo State Chapter, who spoke on depression, explained that while sadness is normal, depression is a medical condition marked by persistent sadness and loss of interest in activities. She highlighted symptoms such as sleep changes, low energy, anger, and feeling of guilt or hopelessness, and discussed its causes and impact on mental health. The event moved on to the second speaker, Comrade Charity Uwasoge, who described breast cancer as the abnormal growth of cells and noted that it remains one of the leading causes of cancer-related deaths in Nigeria. Although lung cancer has recently taken the lead, she explained that it occurs in different forms and emphasized that early detection is key, as it is not a death sentence. She identified both non-modifiable factors such as gender and age and modifiable risks like poor diet and lack of exercise, and highlighted symptoms including nipple retraction and unusual breast enlargement.
To be depressed means to be sad, yes, but when we talk about depression, it means a medical and psychological condition. It's a medical and psychological condition that is characterized by persistent sadness. So now it has deviated from just being sad, but there's a word I just added. What's that word? Persistent. Yes. So before you can say a medical and psychological health condition, and it is characterized by persistent sadness, loss of interest in pleasurable activities, and then they begin to invade the other tissues, begin to metastasise. And when it starts doing that, become an invasive cancer. All these other cells in the body become affected. Now for breast cancer, there are different types. There are the ones that affect just the ducts. There's one that affects the locus, where the milk is found. There's one that affects the whole tissue. So there are different types, depends on. Lung cancer has overtaken. So breast cancer has become the number 2 cause of death over there after lung cancer.
Speaking in an interview, Comrade Ogbede Osaige, chairman of the Medical Health Workers Union of Nigeria Edo State Chapter, described the workshop on depression and breast cancer for working women as an important initiative. He explained that the training was aimed at going beyond traditional advocacy to equip women with practical knowledge on self-care, mental health, and managing depression at work.
Today we are here on a one-day workshop for the women on addressing depression and breast cancer in working women. It has actually been a very interesting moment, having all our sundries around. What we have is not just a trade union, but I prefer to call the medical and health workers an institution, because we don't just do only the aluta issues or the solidarity issues. We also go into letting all our members, most especially the women, understand how to take care of themselves, especially in their workplace, and how to also face depression.
Other guests praised the lecture as timely and vital and highlighted its role in raising awareness of factors contributing to depression and breast cancer in women. They commended the union for providing valuable information on early detection and prevention, expressing satisfaction with the quality of the presentation, and encouraged regular organization of such initiatives to promote women's health and empowerment. Beneficiaries of the workshop who were given certificates during the event also expressed appreciation to the union for prioritizing their well-being. They noted that the session enlightened them on the importance of self-care and the need to prioritize their health in order to lead productive and healthy lives.
It's a very nice program that has been set up by the Medical and Health Workers Union. I think they should do this more often to enlighten working women, because most times these days women do not have time for themselves. They care about their jobs, their family, and leave themselves out. So I think this is an enlightenment for women who are in the working sector, and it's a good one.
It's a wonderful program anyway, concerning the cancer and the depression. So we learned so much, especially the women, when it comes to cancer, on how we are going to examine ourselves, how to engage on physical exercise. So much we learned about the exercise. We say thank you to Medical and Health Union Association.
The event ended as participants said they will put the knowledge into use. Best Orator reporting for Beetv News.
And policies are important, but divine guidance is required for lasting impact. The reports.
The governor, represented by the coordinator office of the First Lady of Edo State, Ms. Desilia Nani Okwewolo, said the Okwewolo-led administration has totally depended on God for directions, and the signs of growth and development is experienced by Edo people. Urging the congregation to uphold God's supremacy, he said governance must be rooted in faith, humility, and totally dependent on God, as human effort alone is not sufficient. Strategy and policies are important, but without a divine guardian, they can't yield lasting impact. The governor noted that the progress recorded in his administration since inception is a testament of God's manifestation of his powers in the rebuilding of Edo. Okwewolo said his administration has successfully utilized the Shine agenda to develop various sectors of the Edo economy, especially security, health, infrastructure, natural resources, and agriculture and education.
As Christians, the Bible tells us to pray for our leaders, as earlier mentioned. To govern a state is not easy, honestly. But we want to thank God for what His Excellency has done with the Shine agenda. Strengthening the healthcare system, you can see education. Last week or 2 weeks ago, he won the best governor in education. I say that development begins from the rural areas, and that is where we must touch. I just want to urge all of us that for this lasting impact, the government needs your prayers. God that shuts the mouths of the lions when Daniel was in the lion's den. The one that parted the Red Sea. The man that provided for the Shunammite woman, and she had to be overflowed. That same God that provided a lamb for Abraham. The same God that raised Lazarus from the dead. The same God that healed the blind, that the lame walk. The same God that healed the woman with the issue of blood. That same God has never changed.
The Special Advisor SA on Religious Matters to Edo State Governor and Chaplain of Government House Chapel, Apostle Sule Farade Azehuame, in his welcome address, commended the administration of Senator Okwewolo in the fight against cultism and insecurity in the state. He said they acknowledge the courage and determination the administration has shown, standing firmly against cultism and insecurity, strengthening collaboration with security agencies, creating employment opportunities, supporting rural development, empowering agriculture, and maintaining a respectful partnership with the church in Edo State.
God as of old, Habakkuk 3:2 says, O Lord, revive thy work in the midst of the years. Your Excellency, we acknowledge the courage and determination your administration has shown, standing firmly against cultism and insecurity, strengthening collaboration with security agencies, creating employment opportunities, supporting rural development, empowering agriculture, and maintaining a respectful partnership with the church in those states. The testimonies are there. Signs have been turned into wonders in your administration, Your Excellency.
The guest preacher, Apostle Favor Mopa Awom, emphasized the place of power in the fulfillment of God's purpose, urged the congregation to test after the power of God, which is the best of all gifts. Reading from Psalm 62, verse 11, Apostle Awom said, life assignment will be frustrated without power, as power is needed and necessary for life because we are in a wicked world. Temitope Oluwafemi reporting for BTV News.
Senior reporter Best Orator.
The commissioning ceremony was marked by excitement and renewed hope among residents as beneficiaries received income-generating equipment designed to enhance economic activities within the community. Items presented include 10 tricycles, 20 motorcycles, and 10 grinding machines. The equipment is to support small-scale entrepreneurs, transport operators, and local business owners, thereby creating employment opportunities and improving household incomes. The initiative aligns with the objective of the Petroleum Petroleum Industry Act, which mandates host community development trusts to drive grassroots development and ensure oil-producing communities benefit directly from industry operations. Speaking during the presentation, a representative of NNPC and SEPLAT urged community members to ensure transparency and fairness in the distribution of the materials. He assured residents that the committee remains open to collaboration and is prepared to address any concern or additional needs identified by the host communities.
Now, my prayer is when we commission finish, I beg we can apply caution and respect for each other as a distributor. He say whatever we need to do to correct the gap when they we go insist say the board of trustees, the management committee and address committee go look into RAM and work with your committee to ensure say the gap. If you not fit close down finish because nobody give bikes, make everybody for community get motorbike. Nobody does it. But the minimum we can add to make sure say at least something touch different groups. We'll try make it.
Prayers were offered by community members for the success of the committee and the sustainability of the initiative, after which the equipment was formally commissioned by a representative of SEPLAT.
Project our prayer be say may God assist him to bring progress to the people of peace and progress and unity for everybody. On behalf of SEPLAT and the HCDT community, HCDT Trust, we launch this. Amen.
In an interview with journalists, a member of the Board of Trustees of the Akugbe Host Community Development Trust, Comrade Romeo Efeyuhuago, expressed appreciation to the chairman and members of the board for their collective efforts. He described the event as the fulfillment of a mandate entrusted to the board, noting that the initiative demonstrates the commitment of SEPLAT and the host communities to strengthen their partnership for greater development.
The thing will happen for my community today. Than the core mandate of the PIA, waiting is stand for. Now we just come do here today. The trust don't fulfill the mandate when we say has to do with empowering the locals. By locals, in this regard, we talk about the people who in the community when SEPLAT they explore.
Also speaking, another member of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Owen Igaira, commended the federal government, the Board of Trustees, and other stakeholders who supported the project. He described the initiative as impactful, particularly for a farming community where access to basic economic tools and amenities has been limited. He added that residents are pleased with the intervention.
Empowerment program of NEP and SEPLAT and the community development trusts for a public community that just happened. It's one of the very key projects that was executed in 2025. And this project is very impactful because Kobe is agro communities and agrarian community which we are alternative farmers. And they need these items like the tricycle, motorcycle, and the cassava grinding machine to be able to bring the produce from the farms.
Community leaders and beneficiaries lauded the empowerment program, describing it as a timely initiative that will enhance self-reliance, reduce unemployment among youths, and stimulate economic growth within the community.
For this one we have seen, I think it's encouraging. With this, the youths, the women, the elders will be empowered.
We should be more of that. We thank God for what they have did. I was born, never carried a machine before. I never carried a affair. We thank God for what they do today.
Share people, they do well for us. They come and feed us, buy bike for us, buy keke for us, buy aging machine for us. We are purchases.
The empowerment program forms part of ongoing efforts by the NNPC and SEPLAT joint venture to strengthen corporate community relations and promote sustainable development across its host communities in Edo State. Best Orator reporting for Beetv News.
New Benin Market continues to face worsening hygienic conditions prompting residents and buyers to raise alarm as the situation deteriorates daily. Beetv News' Precious Angbalaho reports that the residents and Waste Management Board are calling on the government to address and regulate the unhygienic conditions in the markets. The report.
The market is one of the busiest commercial hubs in the city, known for its wide varieties of goods ranging from foodstuffs and fabric to everyday commodities. However, poor hygiene remains a persistent concern for residents and buyers. Some commuters who spoke to Beetv News said the market has been in this condition for a long time with no noticeable improvements. They stated that traders and drivers contribute significantly to the poor hygienic state of the market. Others, however, attribute the problem to inadequate waste management control.
No proper waste management. As you are walking now, maybe you get something, you look around if there is any waste bin you can dispose it, but no. So most people seem to like they just throw it on the wayside or inside the gutter, and that is actually bad because it actually blocks the drainage.
Since when I was young, that's when I've known the market has been very dirty. But I know there can be improvement. It's just the government should just come around and then watch and see what they can do. It's just to be, government should be very intentional about the market.
Speaking with Beetv News, the Edo State Waste Management Board supervisor said that despite their efforts to clean the markets, many traders fail to comply with instructions to sweep their shops every morning and evening. He added that despite repeated warnings and sensitization, some traders still dump refuse on the road. He further called on the government to help comb the misconduct of some market women at New Benin markets.
One of the major challenges we do encounter is the market women, they have this awkward attitude. Awkward attitude in the sense when you try to let them know this is how to do it, they'll tell you they know better, they know best. I think the last time my MD came here, it was like every morning make sure you sweep your shop or wherever you are selling, sweep it morning and evening, but they don't comply. And the issue of them dropping waste on a lawful environment is a problem, especially at the media. One of the major problems I do encounter with them is they just come, they just drop the waste. So they don't care how government managed to maintain those things. In fact, not just the dropping, at least this is road, this is federal government road, or rather state government road. Government spend money in doing this road for the benefit of other persons. But them, they are using their own business to spoil it. This morning now, look at the truck. Just take a look at the truck. Filled up. This truck was empty when I left government house this morning, but just look at it. So I just believe the only way government can help in doing this is to organize task force.
It is, however, hoped that traders at New Benin markets will comply with the shine agenda of the Governor Monday Okwebolo in order to promote a healthier and cleaner environment. Precious Agbalaho reporting for Beetv News.
Team Edo has maintained its dominance at the ongoing Niger Delta Games taking place at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, delivering outstanding performances and sweeping virtually available gold medals in the ongoing sports. Beetv News' Kate Owarido reports that the whole state continues to lead the medal table.
Team Edo has proven to be the powerhouse of the competition, amassing a total of 107 medals to retain the #1 position. According to the latest medal table released by the organizers, Edo State leads with 50 gold, 34 silver and 23 bronze medals, bringing their total to 107 medals. Delta State remains in second position with 34 gold, 27 silver and 34 bronze medals, totaling 95 medals. Bayelsa occupies third place with 24 gold, 21 medals and 23 bronze medals, making 68 medals in total. Akwa Ibom stands in fourth position with 15 gold, 15 silver and 20 bronze medals, while Abia ranked up the top 5 with 9 gold, 19 silver and 17 bronze medals, totaling 45 medals. Athletes participating in the game have expressed joy and satisfaction with their current standing, describing the competition as intense but rewarding.
First of all, I'm going to thank the NDDC for hosting this kind of great games. And my team tried, although we have some slide backs. We are upcoming though, we are learners. Although we play with machineries, but we had to put in our best and try our best to win. But unfortunately, we lost our game. But we still hope on God that our next game we'll try even harder to see what we can do. Cross River, we are just coming up. Handball in Cross River has died for a very long time, and we are just trying to resurrect it back again. And this is what we are trying now to do. And I just pray God is on our side this time around.
It was really hard, but at least we came out first in our competition.
Italy, we have 67 medals, and we came out in the Niger Delta Games 2026.
Team Edo athletes have also delivered brilliant performances in other games activities, further strengthening their overall lead. With the athletes' final schedule to round off the competition on Thursday, expectations are high as Team Edo aims to secure even more gold medals. The track of the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium are set for trailing actions as competitors prepare for the final shutdown. Team Edo's impressive display of skill, strength, and determination has organized supporters across the state. Although the athletes admitted the journey is not easy, they expressed gratitude for the opportunity to compete and make the state proud.
I'm a volleyball player. I'm representing Edo State. For my team, I play volleyball. We the girls and the boys, we won silver. That is second position. Therefore, handball, the girls silver, then the boys bronze. Altogether, I think Edo is topping.
So for our medals, for the male and female, we are on the second position, which is silver medal. For handball, male bronze, female silver.
As the curtain gradually falls on the second edition of the Niger Delta Games, Team Edo remains focused and determined to finish strong. Kate Owarido reporting for Beetv News.
The continued influence of godfatherism in Nigeria's political system is raising serious disputes among political analysts and citizens who say the practice poses a major threat to good governance and democratic accountability. Beetv News' Daniel Shedra gathered that the godfatherism system has become deeply entrenched in Nigeria's democratic structure, with many describing it as a dominant force in the political process. The report is presented by Favor Kolawole.
Godfatherism, a system where influential political actors sponsor candidates for public office in exchange for loyalty and control, has become deeply rooted in Nigeria's democratic process. Observers argue that the trend often determines who secures party tickets and ultimately wins elections. Civil society organizations have also linked the practice to corruption and mismanagement of public funds, alleging that political sponsors often demand financial returns or strategic appointments as compensation for their support. Experts say godfatherism does not only affect elections but also the functioning of governance institutions. The influence of political patrons, they note, can affect judicial decisions, appointments, and the enforcement of laws, thereby undermining the separation of powers and weakening the rule of law. However, some citizens who spoke with Beetv News condemned the godfatherism system in the country, stating that it has manipulated many politicians in office. They said that godfathers often do not select candidates based on competence, but rather a loyalty and willingness to obey their directive.
Godfatherism does not seem to have any positive results. Let me put it that way, because when the person they brought into power comes into power, the godfather, so to speak, has spent resources to bring that person into power. So the godfather need to recoup all he has spent, and the person they brought into power will be limited. His work will be limited in order to satisfy the godfather. If you check the way the politics in Nigeria is structured, someone cannot just come from his backyard to come into power. Somebody has to bring him, has to market him. Funny enough, it is not even the best that these people bring. They just, somebody that can be loyal is who they go to bring.
It's not a very good trend. I condemn it personally, because by the time the money bags bring it into political office, you will have to pay back what you all agreed on. Take example in Nigeria now, what is happening in Cross River State. We can't want to host the whole world, which is very impossible. But it's going to fail one day. Then go to Lagos State. Tinubu will be nominating any governor that comes in Lagos State. Tinubu has been responsible for their finance.
One resident who shared a different perspective said Nigeria has become a society where connections and backing are necessary not only in politics but also in other sectors. He stated that to actively participate in politics or secure certain jobs, individuals often need a godfather or strong support system to rise position of authority.
You see, some people believe on people because of the power they have. If they don't have power, the thing cannot exist. That's why they say this godfatherism and so on and so forth. Because of their power, that is what they are doing. If not, if you don't have a father now, that can tell you, do this, do that, you can't obtain it. And you cannot be happy when you don't have godfatherism. This godfatherism they are talking about into politics because they know if they don't have godfatherism, they cannot win and they cannot rule. In anywhere you are in the whole world today, you must have a person who is supporting you in that political party or in any working places. In any working places today, if you doesn't go school and have a person who can support you in any work, there is no way for you. There is many students that graduate, many they are in the world today, they are in Nigeria, they are in one party to another, they are in society. If they don't have anybody who can support them, you cannot get the job.
As Nigeria strives to strengthen its democracy, many believe that curbing the influence of godfatherism remains essential to promoting credible elections, responsive leadership, and sustainable national development. Favor Kolawole reporting for Beetv News.
Tree planting is widely regarded as an important step towards environmental sustainability and community development. Residents have expressed good motives regarding tree planting because of its numerous environmental benefits. The report. Tree planting plays a crucial role in improving air quality, reducing heat, and creating a healthier and more comfortable environment for communities. Trees contribute to the beautification of neighborhoods and promote ecological balance. An engineer said tree planting has always played a vital role in protecting the environment and remains important in every respect. However, he observed that many people tend to underestimate the power and value of trees planted around them. According to him, trees exist to support and sustain the ecosystem, stressing that wherever there is a tree, life is naturally present. A legal practitioner further noted that trees contribute greatly to environmental beautification. Beyond planting, he stressed the need for proper preservation and maintenance, explaining that trees should not be planted merely for the sake of it, but should be nurtured so they can enhance the beauty of the surroundings.
Very important for development of a society. A place where there's tree, there is bound to be life, longevity of life, longevity. People live longer. So for tree, I'm in full support, 100% support that trees should be planted everywhere.
It looks so nice. That is why we have some NGOs that actually preserve trees in our environment to make it more beautiful.
Meanwhile, another respondent pointed out that trees help to control erosion and reduce the impact of windstorms. He therefore encouraged the governments and local communities to become more actively involved in tree planting initiatives, highlighting the numerous benefits attached to them.
And also control wind storm. So to an extent, we encourage the government through the Ministry of Agric to encourage the community to evolve in tree planting, and also discourage those who are cutting down a tree, maybe those who have been planted by the government and those that are naturally grown from the environment, because tree is a natural endowed, and it controls erosion and windstorm in our society.
Tree planting provides vital environmental, ecological, and aesthetic benefits, making it an essential practice for sustaining life, protecting communities, and enhancing the surroundings. Evelyn is reporting for Beetv News. In a significant political shift in Adamawa State, 15 lawmakers, including the Speaker and Deputy Speaker, have defected from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the All Progressive Congress, APC. This move gives the APC a clear majority in the State House of Assembly, altering the power dynamics within the legislature. The report.
The defecting lawmakers in separate letters read during a plenary attributed their decision to unresolved internal crisis with the PDP. Their departure marks a major change in the political landscape of Adamawa, with the APC now controlling the State Assembly. This development reshaped the legislature composition to strengthen the APC's influence in the state, following the withdrawal of key members from the opposition party.
I refer to the above subject and formally intimate you of my resignation from the People's Democratic Party, the PDP. I took this decision as a necessity due to the crisis within the party at the national level, which makes the party structurally largely ineffective, making it virtually impossible for any meaningful political engagement.
The defection came amid growing political speculations about a possible realignment in Adamawa State, with rumors suggesting that the governor, Ahmadu, may also defect to the ruling APC. Some of the lawmakers stated their decision was driven by the need for political stability and effective governance, emphasizing that movement was necessary to address the challenges within the state political landscape.
16 in number as PDP members in this House of Assembly, and 15 of us has all write our resignation from the People's Democratic Party based on the lingering crisis that is bedeviling the party at the national level.
The leadership of the APC in Adamawa has welcomed the development, describing it as a significant boost to the party's influence and legislative agenda in the states.
This is a very cheering news as far as the APC Adamawa State chapter is concerned. And it is a proof that the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President is really working. With these developments, APC Adamawa State is comfortably leading in the state. Therefore, we are poised to take over the state in 2027 by the special grace of God. So it is a day that every APC member in Adamawa State is extremely happy and joyous with this development.
Before the defection, the assembly was composed of 16 PDP members and 9 APC lawmakers. With this latest development, the APC now holds the majority, making a decisive turning point in Adamawa political landscape. Precious Agbalaho reporting for Beetv News.
In Abuja, President Bola Tinubu has charged the Acting Inspector General of Police, Tunji Disu, to restore peace and strengthen security nationwide. The president issued this directive during the declaration of Mr. Tunji Disu as the Acting Inspector General of Police following the retirement of Kayode Agbetukun, pending ratification by the Nigerian Police Council and confirmation by the Senate. The council is set to meet next week. President Tinubu described Mr. Tunji Disu appointment as coming at a critical moment, urging him to rebuild public confidence in the police capacity to perform its duties in collaboration with other security forces.
INEC had initially scheduled the general elections from February and March of next year, but the timeline is now expected to be moved to an earlier date. The President's signature on the 2026 Electoral Act triggers a series of events and timelines leading to the 2027 elections. Two key changes in the new act include the reduction in the time frame for election notice and campaign. The National Assembly reduced the notice period from the initial 360 days to 300 days.
Notice, which was earlier in the 2022 Act, 360 days. Now we have seen the wisdom to reduce it to 300 days.
Elections for the office of the President, the National Assembly, as well as for governors and state assemblies will now be held earlier than previously scheduled.
This will inadvertently translate to holding the Presidential and National Assembly elections in January 2027.
Members of the opposition and some civil society groups organized protests demanding mandatory electronic transmission of election results. This led to a second key issue, the method of result transmission from polling units through the Independent National Electoral Commission's collation process. In response, lawmakers opted for a hybrid approach to result transmission.
Since the polling unit result comes in from EC8A, which is signed by the presiding officer, signed by the agents, and signed in the presence of security agents, copies are given to all. Then we can use that as a primary source of collation at that unit. And then, of course, we transmit it, even if there is no network at that time. Once we step out of there, maybe towards the ward center or the local government center, it will drop into the IRF. If what is eventually collated at the next center is different from what is in the IRF, Nigerians will be able to compare.
Additional changes include the reduction of the deadline for political parties to submit the names of candidates from 180 days to 120 days. The deadline for publishing the final list of contestants has also been shortened from 150 days to no later than 60 days before the election. INEC is expected to announce a revised timetable and new dates for the general elections, likely between December 2026 and January 2027. Naomi Ewere reporting from Beetv News.
Power sector, the reports.
Jennifer Adigiji highlighted structural and liquidity challenges in the electricity market, stressing that a financially viable system is essential to attract investment and support sustainable growth. Adigiji called for decoupling subsidies from tariffs and gradually introducing cost-reflective pricing across all customer segments. She also pointed to liquidity constraints, noting that only about 30% of market invoices are settled, and cited persistent gas shortages as a major challenge, with gas procurement accounting for nearly 60% of operational costs for thermal power plants. The Minister of State for Finance, Dora Uzoka Anite, said Nigeria must sustain 10 to 12% annual GDP growth over the next decade to reach $1 trillion economy target set by Bola Tinubu. With GDP currently at about $375 billion, consistent growth is essential. She noted that structural reforms are underway to correct past distortions, including high fuel subsidies and a multiple exchange rate system that hurt investor confidence. Uzoka Anite highlighted recent improvements, including S&P Global Ratings positive outlook revision, and said the government has restructured its budget to treat investment spending separately from recurrent costs to support sustainable growth. The managing director of the Rural Electrification Agency, Abba Aliyu, said progress is being made under the distributed access through renewable energy scale-up projects, with key construction milestones achieved. The $750 million World Bank initiative aims to provide electricity access to over 17.5 million people through solar mini-grids and home systems, replacing polluting generators and supporting rural businesses. Aliyu noted that All Futam Nigeria Limited has completed foundational work at multiple sites, casting mounting support bases in 4 of 10 project locations, a crucial step towards full solar infrastructure deployment. Naomi Ewere reporting from Beetv News.
To the world of entertainment, Prime Boy, a friend of the late singer Mohbad, has publicly expressed frustration over the continued delay in the artist's burial. He and a few other people were seen holding placards to express their displeasure over the issue. The reports. In a viral video trending online, Prime Boy was seen protesting while calling on both the singer's family and the Nigerian government to do the right thing. He questioned why the situation has remained unresolved for so long. He also alleged that funds donated by supporters following Mohbad's death are being enjoyed by some family members despite the artist still not being buried. His remarks have further fueled public conversations surrounding the prolonged delay. In another development, Tiwa Savage has launched the Tiwa Savage Music Foundation, an initiative designed to discover and nurture emerging African music talents. The announcement was made on February 25th, 2026 in Lagos, where she outlined plans to provide structured, world-class music education for aspiring creatives across the continent. The foundation will support not only singers and performers but also individuals interested in behind-the-scenes career within the music industry. Its first major project is a partnership with Berklee College of Music, offering a tuition-free program for 100 selected participants. The training will cover live performance, songwriting, music production, and music business. Applicants have until March 20th, 2026 to apply. While tuition is fully funded, selected candidates will be responsible for their travel and accommodation in Lagos. Tiwa described the initiative as deeply personal, reflecting her own journey from studying at Berklee to achieving global success. The search for 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, mother of today anchor Savannah Guthrie, remains ongoing after she was reported missing on February 1st. The Pima County Sheriff Department has investigated multiple leads and recently ruled out all siblings and spouses as suspects in the case. Despite this, online speculation has focused on Dominic Evans, an elementary school teacher who plays in a band with Tommaso Sioni, the husband of Nancy's daughter Annie Guthrie. Social media users have alleged that Evans resembles a person seen wearing a sky mask and backpacking doorbell footage released by authorities. Evans has denied any involvement and spoken out about the harassment he has faced. He said he feels as though his identity has been taken from him and questioned the motives behind the accusation, suggesting that they may be driven by clickbait or a desire for attention, while emphasizing that innocent people are being harmed. And that's it on the entertainment news. Evelyn Izibili reporting for Beetv News. Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen expressed disappointment with Galatasaray's performance despite their UEFA Champions League playoff victory over Juventus, which secured the team's place in the round of 16. Galatasaray advanced 7-5 on aggregate after a 5-2 first leg win at home and a hard-fought extra-time victory in Turin. Osimhen scored during the second leg, reducing the defeat to 3-1 and putting Galatasaray 6-5 ahead of aggregate before Barry's Alpel Yilmaz sealed qualification with a late goal. Despite the win, Osimhen criticized the team's display, noting that some teammates appeared timid and were intimidated by Juventus' play and the crowd. The 27-year-old Nigerian emphasized that while he was happy to qualify, the teams need significant improvement for the next round against stronger opponents. He acknowledged Juventus' strong performance and said he tried to motivate his teammates but could not do it alone. And that is the Science of our news package for tonight. Many thanks for joining us on Beetv Major News. I remain Evelyn Izibili. Thank you and have a good night.